Peace and blessings, University of Conscious Science. You know, it's been a minute, almost 3 weeks, maybe 4, since I did this video. Probably missed the whole month of July. It's crazy. You know, we're gonna call this one about disassociation. Disassociating with your spirit, your soul, and you. When I say you, I mean like the eternal you. But they don't call it the eternal you. You call it God or your eternal I. I, the individualization of your inner self or the you. Not the cellular you. The one that is inside of you. When you talk and you say, I do this, I do that. I was here, I was there. You're speaking from experience. That's the God in you, you know what I'm saying? And it's deeper than that, because what I'm talking about, this eternal God that's in you, that's the real you. You don't know why you do the things you do. You know, we have forces acting up out on us, and so we're being guided in a way. But the person being guided is inside you, and that now comes from a spark. It's a little spark, it's a little man, a little person inside this big person. That's the real you, you know, like when you go to sleep, that's when the little you come out and start running around and doing things. Yes, brother. All right. Yes, yes. And so when you go to sleep, it's like the other you awaken, the real you, the eternal God you, and it runs around in other places, other realms, other dimensions, even in this world. It runs around. Sometimes it runs around on animals, such as the panther, the lion on its back. It carries it around. It also interact with other people, because everybody have another eternal soul in them, or we call it the little I, or really the eternal God in you. So whichever way you're looking at it, we all have it, but not all of us is conscious of it. Now, the thing to it is that if it remains unconscious, it goes back. It doesn't exist. You don't exist. And so there is a place where you can become eternal and immortal while you're still here in the physical, which is the whole theory of Egypt and our ancient ancestors with man-God. When you're talking about man-God, everybody first was a God, a human being, including the one you call your creator. And we all don't share the same creators. We all have our own individual creators. Just like man and woman don't share the same path. You understand? They're not the same. They're two opposites. Well, not in the sense of how we say opposite, but a man's constitution is different from a woman's constitution. She's built off a different integrity and beliefs, and a man is different. Built off a different integrity and beliefs, and they don't follow the same path. Even though by law they have to unite to ascend, but after their ascension or during their time on this earth, they're more on a different path than us. They see things different, 1000% different. So we're different in that sense, and we're opposite in that sense. So we don't share the same destiny with them. You know, that's a long story to that, but I'm just covering the basics because we still talking about the subject of disassociation. Well, let's get back to this now. You see, with this now all taking place and you understanding your different composite you, what's inside of you, not on the cellular level, not on your nervous system level, what's inside you, not your mind, not your brain, not your heart, who you are. But with you now, with all those things that I said, your cellular level, your mind, your brain, look at them as part of you still. And these is the reflections, or your sheath body, the different layers that make up you. So now, okay, you see that it's not just you, the physical, and it's just you, as in me, or I. Then you realize that they work with you. These different parts of you that I call it now, we're going to say your spirit, your soul, and the I, or the eternal God in you, they all don't have to participate with the body. They can leave the body, all of them, and then you'll just be unconscious. This means now you're programmed by whatever is external outside of you. You're programmed by the TV shows, your experiences, what you see. You judge everything off of just the physical experiences in the physical form, physical environment, what you smell, taste, touch, and see only. With that in mind, your brain now become open to be programmed. And so you got two sides to this one brain, which is your hemispheres. You got your analytical side and your creative side. The creative side is where you really reside at if you're here in this world, so that you could transcend your experiences to make it good, regardless of how bad it is. But usually now we become analytical, which is the other side of the brain. And with that, it's just an open source for information to enter. And in it, we're not conscious. We're just going to follow it on an instructive basis, meaning if an eye for an eye, somebody slap me, I'm going to slap them. If it say make a right hand stop at the light, your right hand stop at the light. If this say don't do this, then I won't do it. So we go through life with that now. Now you have triggers and things that help you to have experiences here. These is now your CNN TV shows, the news, the movies you watch, the dramas. These is all really your true experiences, because all you're doing is actually living in a cave and just going from your cave to your workplace and back to your cave. But you have experiences through television and media, which lead to socialization. When you socialize, you repeat what you see on TV, and so you feel like you're doing something. But in reality, you're on a treadmill running in place. So back to disassociation. Now, with you having all your spirit, soul, and your I, your eternal God with you, you are a conscious being, a human being, a man, a woman. But now, without those things, you kind of split up. The reason now this is important is because as a child, we listen to our parents and do whatever our parents tell us. And so in doing so, we have internally, we know right from wrong, because it tell you that's not right. Watching daddy beat mommy, that's not right. Watching daddy fuck other women when mommy leave, that's not right. Seeing mommy giving you numbers to hold for her, that's not right. But you take part in it or you experience it. So what happens? For you to experience it, your soul have to disassociate, leave your body, leave that experience. And you're just stuck maybe with just your spirits, and then maybe your I, your eternal body ruler, your God. He's just the God of your body. It's not God. You understand? But we don't know that. We're materialists. So we see everything from there's somebody outside of us coming to save us, just like how we see ourselves. And so that's why you call him the eternal God of the body, or your creator, or whatever you want to call him, the demiurge. You understand? So now, with this in mind now, you got to realize all these things that we believe is not actually how it goes. So when you see your parents doing these things, you disassociate and you become more unconscious. Every time one of them leave you, now your spirit leave you, you become more unconscious. Then eventually, if your I leave you, you become having like you're just a program. And so when later on in life, say you get mature now and you become an adult, start doing what you want, doing how you feel, nobody repressing you, nobody second telling you what to do, you being an adult. All of a sudden now, they start coming back to you. One by one, you start awakening to your friends is not your friends. You awaken to when you were sick and in the hospital, nobody was really there for you. But when you're out there in the streets and you're doing your thing, everybody's always hitting you up, and you over here, you over there. But in times of calamity, when your lights was going to get cut off, you had to go either beg somebody or do some awkward shit to get the money, because nobody you depend on was really there, understand? So those is the type of awakenings that actually is your eyes, your spirit, and your soul coming back to you. Now eventually, when all three trinities come, you're going to have a soul awakening that is going to shock you. This shock now is what we're going to discuss, because that's disassociation right there. If you didn't understand what disassociation is, it's not living the truth out inside of you that you feel. and you're seeing it and you're not speaking up on it or doing anything about it. You see, that's a sin to your own makaba. You broke your own commandment. So with that happening, you're going to have to deal with a mental issue, a mental stress, your own, you could say hell. With that, you split up. So you do a lot of that, you have a lot of disassociation. Then you have comic book people, sitcom people, people that portray roles like on TV series. Now, when you awaken, it's different though. Once you awaken, fear takes over, anxiety takes over. You ready to run home and get under the bed. It's like you was never here, and then when you realize you're here, you realize how fucked up this world really is. It's a world of an illusion. Religion pretending that they got a pathway to heaven, but all they're offering you is a sanctuary from all the hell you're actually living. You have no choice but to accept those things because you're looking for something better. It's induced here purposely to make you feel that way. It's nothing really happening until you decide that you see it that way. But as long as you got people implanting the thoughts into you, you're going to see it how they see it, and you're going to act how they want you to act. Then they give you pharmaceutical medications, all these other stuff. So waking up, you're going to wake up to fear. Once you're able to succumb to the fear, or what we call the empathism now, like you can sense everybody's thought, all the energies, maybe even microwave the thoughts of people as they walk by. Even people from long distance on Facebook, you still be able to pick up their energy, make your heart race, send your vibrations up, your ears start ringing. All these are signs of this. And so now when your spirits is on it, they're everywhere. Your spirits probably could be surrounding the whole circumference of the earth, and so it's always in contact with you, even though it's not on you. And yet the same thing with your soul. Your soul will come mostly when you stop moving and you go to sleep or in your unconscious state. That's when your soul active. But aside from that, it's running around. But when you get them all together with your true self, you get over that little fear and the feeling that of the energies coming on you. Now you understand life, and you have to now deal with all these other things that now you didn't want to deal with before. So these is what's going to give you now the strength that you need to carry on. So it's like you're going to start swinging the hammer. This hammer that I'm talking about is the hammer of truth. Hello, how you doing? Now, the reason why is that is because everything been a lie, an illusion. Our relationship, this job thing, the pyramid scheme, the dollar bill having no monetary value of gold. One is have $1 written on it, the other have $100 written on it. They both made of the same paper. It's like we live in a world of chaos. Poverty is not real. We have one person that have billions of dollars that is making the rest of the world poor. And there's no laws protecting the people that's poor from this. They came here just like everybody else, and is in an equal place on the geographical earth like anybody else. But what? Society deals to build in certain areas and make economical drops that is unfair. Poverty could be wiped out by the rich. You see videos with niggas like Drake taking people on a shopping spree and buying them things talking about God plan. That ain't no God plan, man. Stop poverty, man. Go do something about poverty. Don't go help one person that's poor. Poverty is a motherfucking government thing that they put onto us so they could issue out their shit. So if you want to help, don't come with no giving to one person no shopping spree or buying them this or supporting these motherfucking manufacturers. All you're doing is supporting those corporations, making them look like it's a fucking commercial for their shit. If you really want to do something, man, do something about it. Niggas got enough money to go to a small island or a small little country and help fix it up. Take it out of this poverty situation, man. Be motherfucking civilization builders. Y'all got money. Help. But all that shit y'all doing is really killing the economy. It's making, and y'all is in actually agreeing with the poverty stuff. You understand? And we don't work like that. You got to understand what's going on. Either you get in or you get out. But you can't just find your own sanctification or your own self greatness by helping one person so you feel good. Through the eyes of the gods, you ain't do shit. I just want to say that anyway, but here we go. You know, with this disassociation thing, man, you know, it gets deep because once you're lost and you don't have your soul, your spirit, it's like you in a world of like you accessible to anybody, and everybody out here is literally a creature, a beast, and they don't know it because all of them is unconscious and these spirits act out through them and they think it's them. It makes them say what they say, do what they do, their emotions, when they're hungry, overeating, all of these is different spirits, or you call demons, that's possessed in people that is unconscious. It's scary because you could be awakened now, and then all of a sudden everybody in the room turn against you because the force acts out upon the unconscious because they can't defend themselves against it. So you might be the only one that is against the force, but everybody's against you because you don't know it. You understand? Because it's a force. It acts out upon any unconscious person. It's the same spirit. So you have to be aware of this and know how to defend yourself against it, much less interact with people who's really unconscious, because they eventually going to find out you're conscious and try to pull you in. So with that in mind now, when you become unconscious, it's like your spirit now disassociate from you and you wandering like Alice in Wonderland or La La La, you don't know anything. It takes, if you are focused, concentrated, and go right to the issue, maybe about a week, 4 or 5 days of you just pondering upon yourself to get your spirit back, get your eye back, get back all your which ones is it left? Your spirit, your soul. Well, all of those together now, if you could just ponder for a while, you'll be able to pull them all back inside of you, and you'll be ready to go back to work. You'll have your thoughts, your creative side back. You'll be able to do everything you can. And for the future, you're going to always have this association, and some of the time you can't help it because you might just be in an environment or walk into a situation that is like unease to yourself, and it makes them have to just leave you. You know, that's why you had in the Bible shit when you see Jesus said that, "Father, why have you forsaken me?" That's a true fact. Let me tell you, when you don't follow the laws of your Makaba or how you feel inside, your spirits is going to bounce when the mundane come around. You could be like, yo, I got gifts, I got abilities, I could do this. And it works when you do it to certain people or around those kind of spirits that's one with, or even by yourself. But when you get around the mundane, they're not going to work for them. Unless they in a dire situation and they dying, then automatically it works. But for you to show and tell, that shit is you by yourself. You're going to be like, Father, why have you forsaken me? It don't work. That's real talk. It don't help the mundane. They don't mess with the mundane. For you to get into that, you just really had to go through a lot of suffering, a lot of self-denial, a lot of prayer, a lot of inner thinking. Now, when I say pray, I don't mean like how the Christians and the people of the church pray. I mean just like into meditation, thought, just thinking, pondering on life. A lot of reading upon what your ponders are, not reading just to read and believe. You know, you just use it to configure your instinctive thoughts. Like if you believe this and you think it's true, go look for it in the book. If you find it in the book, you know you're on point. Get 3 people that say the same thing is true. That's all you need is 3 to verify anything. You don't need to have it as law written in science and mathematics. No, 3 people from 3 different areas say the same thing is true. All right, now, as far as everything else, once you disassociate and you walking around like a zombie for a while, or you just not yourself, wait, like I said, ponder, and it will come back to you. Your soul, everything will come back to you. You'll see yourself back to normal. A famous move of mine that I learned to get yourself back in perfect alignment is to stand on your head. Go against the wall and do a flip right up onto the wall and put your head on the ground and then just hold yourself. If you could balance yourself just on your head and make your legs and body lean off the wall and just hold it there for at least a good 10 seconds. You know, it's going to be kind of hard for if you're a beginner or whatever, but that way, let me tell you, all your spirits, all your soul, all your eye come back in alignment, because it's like a call out. They get that energy, so opening in your macabre through your spine and the blood going back in the other direction. You know, try it. You will see that you'll get up smiling, laughing. Everything will be on point. You're back to your creative self. You know, I just wanted to tell you that this is getting kind of long. So we're going to continue this again in part 2.